We're talking today about hiring people. The reason I'm talking about this is
There we
because
are.
I'm in the process of hiring a design assistant right now. There
There
she
she
is.
is.
Elizabeth Cinquini of Cinquini Interiors is
Oh,
on the
okay.
call.
I like it. You said it the right way today.
Walker, right? You?
It's all
Yeah.
good.
We are live today talking about interior design T. And that's all the stuff that is between the good and the bad.
Yes.
Everything in between. But I want to talk today about hiring people to help you because I'm in the process of hiring a design assistant. I have hired last year an admin assistant, and she has been promoted to office and operations manager this year.
Yay,
Yeah.
Taylor.
Yeah, she's doing fantastic. Thank you, Taylor. But we also have I have to do more because I'm hiring somebody to take over some of the design and support me on the design side. So this one's a little bit different of a hire, and it's calculating their design skills versus, but you still, like, we know as a designer, you still need to have the other skills. You need to have like communication skills and budgeting and, tax management and
Common sense.
sense.
Well, there's so many skills, and they have to like vibe with you, and right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, because if they're going to help, they have to understand all the processes of the design project. It's not just, okay, design this. It's like, if you're going to specify furniture, do you know what the cost of that furniture is? And that's, you can often tell by the vendor you're using, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's different vendors at different price points, but also different vendors for different design styles. So making sure that you get all those pieces, or maybe it's custom, and then can your budget actually sustain a custom pieces? Because it's
Or are a lot of the people you've been interviewing, are they in school or recently graduated or have some experience already?
they're mainly have a little bit of experience, not a lot of experience. So they're wanting, it's really starting at the entry level.
Yeah. Well, that's fun.
Yeah, but they have design experience. They're all coming out of design school, you
Okay.
know. Number thing, I don't know how do you do this? Like draft. I learned AutoCAD, but I just hand draft
Cool.
my floor plans and my elevations. And if I have to, I send them out for a third party, and they'll do the plans for me,
Or it's the
and
drawing.
they'll the rendering. So, but that's coming in house. Like I want it to be in house now.
Yeah, definitely.
Around faster, like I don't, and I think you need to, like, I like to do the plans because hand draft them, because then I really have to think, like I'm really thinking in inches when
Yeah.
I'm doing that versus overall concept. It's
Mhm.
just funny because today we're working on this project, and it was just like a re-updo of this pied-à-terre in New York City. We were using existing furnishings. We're just adding some
Okay.
character and life to it, right? So I didn't really take measurements of something, but he wants to do some sound, what's it called? Sound absorption.
Oh, the piano?
Yeah. So it's
Okay.
not soundproofing, but it's only sound absorption, because like
Yeah.
soundproofing is completely different, right?
Yeah. Of course.
But I realize, and so I'm sending over a layout to the acoustic panel people to say, hey, what would the impact be?
Right.
I don't have measurements of the space,
Yeah.
because I was just using existing space with the existing furnishings. It
Mhm.
wasn't like I had to figure out the, what size the sofa. We had the sofa.
Right, right. You just give them the overall size of the room?
Yeah, you think I'd have that, right?
Well, just estimate it. It's easy enough to estimate.
Yeah.
Is it like 20 by 15 or whatever? Just
Yeah.
give them that. And the ceiling height?
Yeah. Apparently I didn't take that down.
Your
Yeah.
experience, you can look at a photo because I
Yeah.
can do that. Look at a photo and determine ceiling heights and room sizes.
Yeah. So I do have a lot of photos. Yeah, like I know I might be off 4 or 5 inches, but it's true. You can
Mhm.
look at pictures. I mean, I look at pictures and I go, oh, that's like, 42 inches, 45 max, and be within like a good range of not being like, I'm not feet 5 feet off. I'm like,
Yeah, of course.
mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
So the
so
new hire will hopefully do AutoCAD and or renderings.
right,
Good.
whatever. So
Perfect.
so that's part of it. And then, of course, learning everything else that they have to do, take care of the material library because that's important.
Learn all your processes.
Learn all my processes, learn communications, and Grant, he talks about sales, right? And I think his sales program is really also about learning communication.
Yeah.
So, doing training with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of, but it's a little harder and I'm doing a 3-part. Hold on a second.
Okay.
So have you read this book, Teamwork by
I
Natalie
haven't read
Dawson?
it.
Okay. So she actually has a process
Mhm.
for hiring people, which is the very process
Did
that
you
I'm
have them
using.
send the
I didn't have them send a video first,
Okay.
but one of her first questions, which, like, I never thought about this. Number one question, the first interview, some of it, I've been doing it like just on the phone, right?
Yeah.
And the first interview, my first question is, what research did you do about us?
Oh, okay.
Right? That's my very first question. Get on the phone. What research did you do about us?
Yeah, that's a
Now,
good one.
it's a good one. And let me tell you that I have told people
Mhm.
just after answering this question, I'm like, I don't think we're fit because they haven't done any work. And there's just absolutely no reason
Mhm.
to, in this day and age, not to take 10 minutes. Google the company,
Google. Yeah.
go on
Instagram.
Facebook,
Very easy.
Instagram, YouTube, like you go on these social media sites. There's some main ones, you'll find them. Like, what is their website? Get a
Yeah.
little information. And the fact that people don't even do that after and I never asked that question. Well, mind you, the last time I hired, I failed. I was a failure. Because I was a failure because I was not prepared to have, like, I have these great visions. I'm going to do this. Like, I'm doing this all the
Yeah.
time. I just realized that, like, I didn't train them properly. So they failed and
Yeah.
I failed because I didn't really think about, not just about, finding somebody, and I didn't have a real process for it, like a steady process, but
Yeah.
I also, like, it was also, like a training program for them to come on. Okay, now you need to learn this, and
Yeah.
then now you need to learn this, and now you need to learn this, right? And there is a process because the process was up in my head. So really, you need to, one of the first things I did this time was, I'm like, okay, so what are the things that I really need help with that they can do that I don't need to do?
Yeah.
And then
Document.
right, and then what skills you need that, and that's why it's like you gotta have some kind of drafting skills,
Yeah.
program skills. Whereas last time I'm like, "Well, just come along and read what I have in my head and it'll be fine." And, I fail because,
Yeah.
and it wasn't them. They were, they was good people. It's just,
Yeah.
like, not giving the right training, giving the right opportunity, and so then they're left like, "I don't know what to do." Like, "Why
Yeah.
don't you know what to do?" Okay. So yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So, um, so that's a really good question. If anybody's looking to hire, I swear, read this book. Ask that first question first time you meet that person, um, and it tells you a lot. Are they interested? Are they curious? Right?
Yeah. And
Can
the
they?
other good tip was
Yeah.
that they told us is have someone submit, like, I think it was a 60-second video,
Hmm.
saying, like, why they're interested in the position and the company. Quick, 60 seconds, not
Yeah.
this drawn out thing, just so you can really get a sense of, like, who they
Who they
are.
are.
It's a visual also, how they communicate and what they're saying. So that
Yeah.
was a good idea too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it's a 3-part interview. So I'm just on the second interview with everybody, and now we're on going into the
Are you
third.
gonna give them, like, something to do for the third?
That was the second one. The second one was a technical interview, which is sort of seeing what their skills are. But
Oh,
I didn't have them draft or anything like that. It was
yeah.
more of, let's walk through this project. Let me see how you communicate, how you
Mhm.
document, how what details are important to you. How would you prioritize?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay,
So, yeah.
that's good.
Yeah. So then the third one,
After that second interview, did you eliminate in your mind?
no,
No.
no, not so far.
Do.
I know, but
Things.
everybody's like checking the boxes. And for, you know, for many good reasons. Like they're not all the equal checks on the boxes, right?
Right.
Somebody's more like this, but somebody's more like that. And somebody has this and somebody has that. And it's like it all evens out. Like nobody is like straight across the board,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
I'm like,
Great.
oh dear, I have to hire them all.
Well, there you could do that too.
No, they're really, really, this second interview is like really good people, good people.
Yeah.
So this idea, and I hear people talk about it all the time, saying, oh, it's hard to find good people. And, you know, Brandon Dawson says about that, it's not, you know, it's hard to find good people. It's, are you a good person to be working for? Right?
Yeah, and I think it's also the way you put it out there, right? If you're with now you know and you're direct with what you're looking for, so you're gonna
Oh, yeah.
attract that,
Yeah,
you know?
totally.
If it's very vague and, then you're gonna attract not the right fit, so
Right. Well,
see?
I've gotten
Little
more.
progress.
I know. Because I did have some people who said, you know, I can learn one of the programs.
Mm,
And I'm like, okay, but you need to start like as soon
yeah.
as you start within the next few weeks, 1 week, whenever, I'll make a decision. Like you need to start right away. Now, I may not have but it doesn't matter. Like I don't want a 6 week lag time.
No, you don't want that. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
just not the right fit.
Yeah. And you know, I think the people that yeah, I guess I did cancel a couple of people out, but they didn't make it to the second interview.
Okay.
So, yeah, on the first interview, I canceled some people out. The second interview, I haven't yet canceled anybody out yet. And I'm like, oh dear.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know how I guess that's why I do a third interview. So the
Yeah.
third interview, according to Natalie Dawson, is the core values interview.
That's a good
So, yeah,
because
they
it's important.
demonstrate alignment with my core values, right?
Yeah.
So, and this is a presentation by them. So maybe it'll give me an opportunity to cancel some people out.
Well, it has to.
Yeah, I mean,
You have to
yes,
make a decision.
yeah, really sincere, authentic people. Hey, Argentina. So Sud 3D is listening from Argentina. Hey, Argentina. Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, I guess I'll just, know when I know.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
So it's exciting because I know that having someone help me, support me in the design
Yeah.
role is going to give me some time to like spend the time growing and building relationships, which has been difficult while I'm sitting here trying to do the design. I can't be talking and meeting people and, what it's like as a business owner. So,
It's good.
yeah, so that's what I'm been thinking about and working on, and hopefully we'll be able to make a decision.
By the time we have our next design team?
Yeah, that's probably a good goal.
Yeah. Okay. So we look forward to hearing what's happening.
Okay.
So I was actually between yesterday and today, this is actually a good topic because while you're looking for an assistant, I have two projects that are more renovation focused, right? So now I have to bring in the contractor and all the trades, right? Who I'm going to use for
Right.
things. So it's the same
Yeah.
process, right? Because it's like, okay, meet with the client, understand their needs, the type of people they are, what they're looking for. And so now it's my job to really filter the right,
Yeah.
yeah, filter out who's going to be the right builder for me to bring in to work with them,
Yeah.
you know? And, communication is huge, craftsmanship, obviously. So there's like all of these boxes that need to be checked. So it's very similar. Like while you're doing your interview process, now I have to really do mine and see,
Yeah.
what's their, even for the contractors and the trades, like what's their schedule like how far out are they like
Right.
based on our timeline? Like there's so many different aspects to take into consideration.
Right. Harsh. Harsha said, do you find it difficult to find them? And I'm assuming find trades to work with.
Or find like your design assistant candidates?
Yeah, I think he's talking more about because the question just came up just now when you're
Oh,
talking
okay.
about trades and stuff. So, do you
Well
find it difficult to find those trades?
well, the one thing that I've been doing, I mean, obviously, I've been in Florida almost 4 years now, so I've spent that time really building my relationships with a lot of trades, and I have a lot of builders that I know and trust and like that I could bring on, but again, it's really what's right for the project and for the client, so it's narrowing it down,
Yes.
even for, cabinetry and all the different, all of these different aspects, flooring and installers.
Carpeting, millwork,
Exactly.
painting, wallpapering, like
But you have to always be finding, networking, connecting, and building relationships with all of these trades and contractors and builders and architects.
yeah,
Because when the projects come up, now it's on you. It's on your reputation to now bring in and introduce those people to your client. And
yes,
that is part of however they act and execute is an immediate reflection on you. So
yes.
it's not something to kind of be taken lightly, and
Right,
that's why you have to really build the relationships and get to know people before you
right.
bring them onto a huge project. That's just the way
Well,
I
and you're gonna be working with these people. So having a good relationship where, there's mutual respect and understanding and
Yeah,
willing to no, I wouldn't say compromise, but like willing to work on a problem because you're gonna be met with a problem on
right,
site at some point. And it's like, okay, are we able to get together to figure out a solution that's
right.
going to work, that is gonna solve my problem as a designer to have it beautiful and the details are fine?
Mhm.
And with your issue of not issue, but your problem as a contractor, where it's within the scope, or you can do something that is within the scope, or if it grows, that it's going to be helpful for the client too, right?
Yeah, I mean, and my biggest thing too is I'm building relationships with the owners, right? Because as a business owner, we're
Right.
building relationships with other owners.
Yeah.
But depending on the size of the company, for a renovation, I may not be dealing with the owner. It may be a project
Mhm.
manager assigned to the job. So if I don't know them enough to have a relationship, I have to know how they interact with
Yeah.
clients and how they meet with, because I've had that before in the past where I've hired a builder and then they put a project manager on the job. And like after 2 meetings, the project manager decided to quit his job with that builder. And so now the project is in limbo because I have to give another project manager. So, you know,
Yeah.
things like,
And I've had the problem too of like you have the person who is like running the business, doing the sales, and then hands off the
you like
project.
them and you
I
have
like them,
them, but
but
they're not working on the project with you.
they're not working on the project, and everything that you discuss with the client to
Yes.
do, like all of a sudden, like you've been communicating with this person, and they're like, that's not the person that you communicate with on the project. And it's like, what?
So that's another question, when you're working with trades and contractors, that's another question to make sure that you get answered. Like, okay, well, who's going to be assigned to this project? Who is going to be my day-to-day contact
Yeah.
person? 'Cause that's a huge factor too.
Yeah. And then, like, a lot of the time, I find day to day contact is not even the business owner or the person on site, it's the administrative person in the office
Yeah, and
who's
I'm a
running this, who's running the schedule, making sure the information gets from here to there, because yeah, like there's not often times where like I'm on site, but their information has to be relayed.
Yeah, and I would rather not it be relayed through all these different channels. Like, I wanna be in direct contact with the person that's on site and is there, and
Well,
so
that's true, but like
yeah.
I find that I also have to make sure that I'm communicating that in emails to the headquarters, so to speak, right? So
Mhm.
that they have it. And
Yeah.
then making sure that not only do they have it, but then the person in charge has it too, so that there's no
Breakdown.
place for it to slip down, right? Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
that's why I personally prefer to work with smaller companies, because then there's just when there's too many people in the mix.
Well, I really think it comes down to how they run their operations and their process. Like, do they have
100%.
yeah, because there are big companies that, bigger companies where it is, like, more streamlined because and especially when you get in commercial work, there's way more checks and balances, like, in commercial work than there is in residential work. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Because you have to meet so many more codes, there's
Yeah.
so many restrictions. So, are you actually and you're not doing commercial work without permits. Like, residential people can get away with doing stuff without permits, but commercial?
Not really here in Florida. That was one
Yeah.
thing that was so different for me because in New York, we would do so much residential without permits. Here, everyone gets a permit for everything.
So, are you talking about, like, you're saying in Florida, if it's a direct replacement, you need a permit?
Well, I mean, a lot of times, yes, because if it's an HOA community, for resale, if you're changing certain things,
Well, let's just say
even if
direct
it's not taking down walls, we are changing the layout and stuff. So we've
Okay,
got
I'm talking about direct replacement. You're not actually like, for instance, I am doing a bathroom. It's direct replacement, as in the toilet is staying where the toilet is, the sinks are staying where the sinks are, the shower is staying where the shower is.
we've still to get a permit.
You'd need a permit for that. It's just really,
Had to in certain instances, yeah.
yeah.
Most places do because when they want to go to resell it, they want everything to be up to date and filed appropriately.
I mean, there is a. I think there's in Jersey there is
Especially when you're in an HOA.
yeah. I think
We
that
don't
when you're in
have
a
that in New York.
yeah, if you're an HOA where it's a condo and there's a few more restrictions on you as a
It's not
condo.
condos, it's communities with single family homes.
Really?
Yes, like I live in an HOA community, gated. Most of the communities are gated, you have security. So we have an HOA board that things have to get approved.
So if you wanna do something in your home, you have to get approved by HOA? Not like in Florida.
It depends. I mean, certain things on the
Interest
outside, yes. Like if I want to change,
Okay, on the outside, maybe, yes.
like little things like that. I want to put a palm tree, yes. Things that you would think are so like minute, but
That would
you-
drive me a little insane. That would
yeah.
drive me a little
Well, it has its pluses and
Yeah,
minuses.
no, I hear you. It's good.
Yeah.
It keeps
It
it
keeps
keeps
everything very neat and beautiful and structured, and rules are good sometimes.
it also keeps things very, like, within parameters, like, we can't go outside parameters. I like breaking rules. Like,
Yeah.
with design, I like breaking rules because I like a little tongue in cheek, a little whimsy, a little, like, laughing.
Well, you can do that. You just have to get it approved.
My sense of humor can often not be the same sense of humor as other people. Interesting. Good to know, good to know. Well,
Yeah.
out here in residential in New Jersey, we're not having to deal with a lot of those issues, although we are doing this condo renovation in a, like, multi-family unit building,
Mhm.
and we ended up needing permits, which really delayed the job in the middle of the job,
Yeah, they're the
even
worst.
though it was direct replacement. But, people were asking questions, and
Yeah.
the contractor got nervous and said I should get, because it was in a condo building.
Mhm.
Everybody owns it, so everybody's watching, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but we're moving. It's moving forward. Just taking much longer than I expected. Should have been done by now, but what are you gonna do?
That's what
Yeah,
you did.
that's what happens. So, yeah. So really, like, we're talking about how you interview people and learn about people and to see if they're a good fit. I mean, it's also the
You're really
same.
always interviewing.
Seriously, I was gonna say it's the same with clients. Like,
Yeah.
is this the kind of client I want to take on? Are they going to
Yeah.
are they going to be the kind of client that is going to fit in, that I'm going to be able to work with? Can we communicate? Is there a good vibe? You know, some of it is, and then you just have to trust your instincts too. There's only so much you know until you know, it's just like I was told, you don't know anybody until you've divorced them. You don't really know. I know a lot of people really well now. Um,
That
but
might be
um,
for another design team.
but no, but it's true. It's like until you get into a little pot of trouble,
Yeah.
like that's where people get heated, and when there's money and it's inconvenience, and you know, you're like, are not just the clients or the people we work with, but yeah, change the scope throughout the project. Yes, change the scope throughout the project. Understanding, and that's part of that though is on you. It's how are you communicating? Talking about the trades, like I have a trades agreement.
Mhm.
Whereas if you sign on to be working in trades with me, then I have certain rules and this is how we do things. And I get wishy-washy a bit with it. And every time I get wishy-washy with it, I'm like, oh my God, I regret it. I'm like, go back to it, go back to it. Cause it is a bit of
Yeah.
little bit of a long document, as in, this is this and this is that. And, contractors don't necessarily want to read that or whatever, but it sets the tone for how the workplace is going to be, how the site is going to be, and how we're going to communicate moving forward.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah. So, do you have a document like that that you use on with
Like
your
with
trades?
trades? I'm
Yeah,
trying to think. Like, no, I don't think I do. But that's
trades
a good
contract.
idea.
I can attribute that to Sandra Funk,
Okay.
the design standard. That was one of the things that she introduced me to. I'm like, oh, that's a really good thing. And then you have to implement it and enforce it.
Yeah.
And I'm getting much better at enforcing things because I'm like, I have no time for
Mm.
this. Really. It's like, I don't have time to deal with this nonsense, and it's understood.
Yeah.
Um, we got the Vanessa. What are the best practices for clients working with an interior designer? How helpful is it for them to do research before, send over Pinterest board or other ideas? Well, that's a very good question.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, what do you do?
So, okay. So, for example, I met with a new set of clients yesterday. I went to their home. I always do like, okay, walk me around the house. Tell me what's working
Yeah.
for you, what's not working for you. It's
Yeah.
kind of how I start. I let them, do
Guide.
talking in the
Yeah.
beginning and I just listen. Um, and then once we do the walkthrough, I kind of sit down with them and go into a little bit more detail. Yes, I always ask them to have inspirational images or a Pinterest board so they can show me so I can see the overall idea.
Right.
And sometimes I'll say, I really only need, 10 images. I don't need
Oh,
a
wow.
million,
Yeah.
but I mean, 10 is fine. And I tell them, like, even if you are not, it doesn't have to be every single thing in the image is like exactly what you want. It shouldn't be that. Just, you know,
It's a feel. Yeah.
just for an overall vibe. And just from looking at your photos, I'm going to already be able to understand what you're looking for and be able to interpret it. Like that's what our job is.
Yeah.
So, yes, you definitely want to have them do that.
Yeah, you do. Inspiration photos are key.
Yeah.
10
And
is
then
a lot.
good questions.
Yeah, 10 is a lot. I say 3 to 5. What you don't wanna have is them constantly researching and finding things and
Yeah.
sending it to you. Like,
After
we
the
can s
initial,
yeah, because what happens is you may show them something, and then they start thinking this, and they're thinking that, and it's like, you know,
yeah.
90% of those are look at the reason they don't understand the total reason for picking certain things. It's not just like the style and the look. It's the size. It's how it's repeated in the design elements throughout the room. It's also like who's building it and like what manufacturer is it? Is it within a good timeline and will it fit in the budget? And is this amount, is this where we want to spend the money? And the
Yeah.
client will go, "Well, I found this." And it's like, "Yeah, but yeah." So
Yeah.
it's also curtailing that so that it's like, "Okay, don't worry, we've got it."
Yeah, and if they keep researching, they're never gonna make a decision. I had
Yeah.
this with a client that I was doing some consulting with. She was doing a renovation for years. with like multiple years because she kept looking at images and finding things, and she liked this and she liked that, and she wanted to change and she wasn't sure, and she wasn't trusting her own gut
Yeah.
of what her initial vision was. And she kept asking people, family members, what do you think of this? Showing them a sample. And then it would like totally like knock down her confidence and she would want to change it. And she still can't make a decision,
Right.
but
So
it's a never ending process.
right, and that's why I have a clause, again, thank you, Sandra Funk,
Yeah.
is a restart clause
Yeah. That I
and
have too.
time. It's like time. You have from
Yes.
this time to this time, you have a certain amount of time to make a decision.
Yeah.
And, I'm flexible too. Like I do have timing and I realize some clients take a little bit longer, but it's also like, okay, it's up. Like you make a decision about this. And
Yeah.
then like if it goes on, then it's a restart fee because oh my
Yeah.
God, to go back and now try to remember all the
Remember,
elements.
this may not be available anymore. And so you have to really
Thank you.
restart.
Yeah.
So, and that's happening.
Discontinued.
So
Ah,
100%
yeah. And so now like the fabric that gave you the inspiration for the room, the
that
one
you
fabric
wanted is not there anymore.
gone.
Yeah.
The problem this morning.
Yeah.
But we're fixing it. So, but it's just more time. And your responsibility as an interior designer isn't just to help create the room, but it's to push the process forward and get it
Right.
done. It's
Exactly.
supposed to be easy and
Yeah.
stress-free. And part of that is making good decisions, but it's
Yeah.
also making them in a timely fashion so the project gets done in the short amount of time as possible and there is a final stop. Otherwise, your clients aren't going to appreciate it. They've,
Yeah. They're just gonna be wasting time and money, and you're gonna be wasting your time.
yeah.
So,
So, like, I'm all about that. Yes.
so
So here we are again, our design tea. I got on to Instagram properly. I said Elizabeth's last name right. Even though I've
yeah,
known her for a whole bunch of years, you'd think I would get it right, but I like to play with it.
I
I
know
do.
it's okay.
But we're here every Tuesday at whatever, 4
Yeah,
o'clock, more or less, and talking about design, the design tea, how to run a design business and the problems that we have.
exactly. So, and we'll see you next Tuesday, and we'll get the update on Risha's interview process.
I'll let you know how it's going. Yeah, I hope. I know there's good people out there. I just have to, make a decision.
Make a decision. Yes.
Shocking.
Okay. Bye,
All
everyone. Thanks
right. Thanks,
for
people.
joining us.
Yeah.